Hello, it's Jim Hutchins for the Jerusalem Connection Spot Report for this week. This week, and the events of this past weekend especially, could very well be determinative as far as a future relationship between Israel and the United States is concerned. The issue primarily is Iran. The President of Israel, Shimon Peres, the Prime Minister, Bibi Netanyahu, are in this country. And conversations are being held between the Prime Minister and the President. And they're over Iran. What is Israel going to do? When are they going to do it? And what kind of support, if any, will come from the United States? In anticipation of that, last week, the former IDF intelligence chief, Amos Yadlin said, the United States must assure Israel that if it delays any military moves against Iran's nuclear weapon, that Washington will use its own might to stop Iran from weaponizing its nuclear program. What is needed is an ironclad American assurance that if Israel refrains from acting in its own window of opportunity to stop Iran's nuclear program, it will act, that is, Israel will act itself to stop it. Now, there's a great deal of conversation that's been going on with regard to that. In anticipation of that, the President has cautions against any kind of premature attack on Iran, saying any red lines that Iran would cross, he's not willing to put any of those red lines. As a matter of fact, he's famously said now, I don't bluff. In the United States, it is unacceptable for Iran to have a nuclear weapon. We mean what we say. Now, but he has to say what he means for him not to bluff. And thus far, he has not said that. He has said that I think the people, Israeli people, understand, in reference to the refrain, all options are on the table, meaning all military options. But in response to that, the former UN Ambassador John Bolton has said, I'm not really sure that the Obama administration knows where the table is. Now, the intelligence community, the military community of both Israel and the United States are pretty much in sync. Their leaders are not in sync. They really don't trust each other. And in absence of those assurances of keeping Israel from a commitment, to refrain from attacking Iran, notwithstanding all the verbal ammunition thrown at it by officials here in Washington. What are we going to make of this? Not sure at this point. It's not totally clear what is coming out of these conversations. But one thing is sure. There will be a war with regard to Iran, that their nuclear capability will cease and desist. Israel will do it because it's a threat to their existence, their survival. Whether the United States will accompany that remains to be seen. And we like to put a context, a biblical context, to everything that we cover with regard to Israel. And I'm reminded of a passage from Deuteronomy spoken of by Moses. You know, there's no question but what Israel is the predominant military power in the Middle East. But there's coming a day, the scripture says, when it will be necessary for God to intervene, for them to survive. Moses says this, Deuteronomy 32, verse 36, Yahweh will vindicate his people. He will have compassion on his servants when he sees their strength and their power is gone, and no one is left, slave or free. He goes on to say, Rejoice, you nations, with his people, for he will avenge the blood of his servants. He will take vengeance on his enemies and will make atonement for his land and his people. And then I go from there, I keep going back to this focus that the Lord seems to be bringing to the prophet Zechariah, chapters 12 through 14. Yet to take place. They've never taken place in the past. But it says in Zechariah 14, then, when this happens to Israel, when their strength is gone, then Yahweh will go out and fight against those nations as he fights in the day of battle. On that day his feet will stand on the Mount of Olives, east of Jerusalem. then Yahweh my God will come and all his holy ones with him. Now, there's a lot that must take place, as I said, before that happens. But be assured of this. Yahweh is in control. He is sovereign. And he will vindicate his people. So be encouraged. We're on the right side of this issue. So until next week, Od Ki Yavo Shiloh, until Messiah comes, Shalom Aleichem.